right now?
It's Trae Young. It's Trae Young, the most disrespected star. You know why? But yes,
Salty
it is
Knicks
because
fan.
we don't give him. Yeah, I know. We don't give him enough credit for what he brings on a night-to-night basis. When we talk about one of the most unguardable guys in the NBA, Trae Young is one of those guys, and you could go ask anybody who has to check him. Right now, Stephen A., he's 6th in the league in scoring. He's 3rd in the league in assists, so he's making guys around him better. And I get it. People say, oh, he's in a nice spot, but he's in a better conference right now. He's in a better conference, and he has his team 4 games over 500. So my thing is, when I'm looking at Trae Young ball and hand people that work night in and night out, when he steps onto the floor and he has to go against other superstars, go look at the numbers, go look at the results. Trae Young is right there at the top of them, especially in the fourth quarter when it's time to close.
Kendrick Perkins, you are so wrong on this one. It's ridiculous. And here's the reason why.
Wow.
I don't know anyone who doesn't have profound respect for the greatness of Trae Young. This man was drafted and they swapped picks with Dallas just so Dallas could take Luka. And even while we're talking about Luka, we talk about Trae Young, because if Trae Young had wet the bed and didn't deliver the goods, then Atlanta would have been excoriated because Luka is that dude. But we know Trae is that dude too. He's a miniature dynamo. He's all the things that you said in a bag of chips. And he bows at Madison Square Garden after blasting the Knicks every time he shows up at the Garden. I would know that better than anybody, how he has victimized and abused the New York Knicks. He should be arrested and incarcerated for the beatdown and the assault that he religiously puts on my New York Knicks. All we know about Trae Young ain't nothing but profound respect for that young brother's greatness. And we know it with the ATL and the whole 9. Devin Booker is by far the most disrespected player in the NBA. This is a brother that was in the NBA Finals. This is a brother that we looked at in terms of his game, not on the level of Kobe, but very Kobe-esque in his pull-up J, some of his footwork, his ability to shoot perimeter shots, how he can drop 70 in a game, and all of this other stuff. He's playing for the #1 team in the NBA. He's playing for the team that's the reigning defending Western Conference Finals. And you know what we say about him? He's lucked up because he's got CP3. He's lucked up because he's what he's surrounded by. He's lucked up because he's got a great coach like Monty Williams. All of those things are maybe true in terms of the credibility of those players around him, but nothing should take away from the greatness. He might not win MVP. Hell, he might not get either one of our votes. But in the end, I put him in a conversation for a reason. I talk about his greatness for a reason, because we barely ever hear anyone else, not talking about you, but we barely hear anyone else talking about the greatness that this brother puts on display on a night-in, night-out basis. Devin Booker barely gets a mention. Trae Young is talked about all the time.
No, he's not. No,
yes,
he's not.
He is.
Devin Booker is talked about amongst his peers more than Trae Young are. And
you know,
God. I'm on Twitter all day.
True.
I'm on Twitter all day long, and we could go pull up the receipts.
I'm not
how many times?
Twitter like you.
How many times, Stephen A., have we seen former players and current players tweet out about Devin Booker? Whether that's him for as being in the MVP conversation, him being disrespected, him not making the All-Star team, whatever the case may be, we see guys tweet out and say things about Devin Booker.
Because he's not getting the recognition.
But we don't see that same energy with Trae Young.
Because they know everybody talks about Trae Young.
Hell, Atlanta don't even recognize Trae Young like they supposed to.
Everybody talks about Trae Young.
Be no empty,
Stop it.
It shouldn't
Everybody
be no
talks
empty
about
seats
Trae
in
Young.
those So hold on. So time out. You have a superstar caliber player in Trae Young. And Stephen A., don't sit up here and lie to me on First Take. If me and you was to go to a regular season game in Atlanta, do we expect the arena to be sold out?
Oh, that's not fair. No, you're being slick. Oh, I got the answer for that one. No, we don't expect we don't expect the arena to be sold out. But you know the reason why. Hold on, wait a minute. You know the reason why. When you talk about Atlanta, you're talking about basically people migrating to the ATL. And by the way, I'm sorry if it's beyond the pale to say this, but there are far more distractions in Atlanta than there are in Phoenix, okay? So, I mean, let's just call it what it is. In Phoenix, listen, first of all, you barely got people. I mean, after the first month of the season, they barely want to go see the Diamondbacks, okay? Okay, let's get that out the way, all right? The Arizona Cardinals were relevant this year, all right? But that's recent memory since Kyler Murray arrived, all right? It's really about the Phoenix Suns, but at the end of the day, it's close to L.A. All right, now you got Vegas in the vicinity. There's a lot of things that's going on. That would be the reason. But there is no question that when you talk about people who are not recognized enough, it is Devin Booker. Trae Young is very recognized, and we all know it.
From Cameroon, Joel Embiid.
When you look at who's dominating the league, really all big men.
Joel Embiid with a ferocious play.
Whether it's Giannis,
Straight train to the rim.
Jokic.
Joker, man, that's large.
As long as the big man wins, we're going to be fine.
If you didn't know, the big men are back. Joel Embiid clinched the NBA scoring title yesterday, even though he didn't play. Embiid averaged 30.6 points this season and is the first center to win the title since Shaquille O'Neal in 99-2000. Embiid edged out Giannis Antetokounmpo. He had 29.9, who also didn't play in the Bucks finale. Big Perk back with us, but Stephen A., I'll start with you. Is Joel Embiid the MVP?
Kendrick Perkins is going to kill me over this.
Oh, boy.
I have a vote, Kendrick Perkins. I voted on everything but the MVP. I still ain't turned in my vote yet. I can't make up my mind. I got until damn near midnight tonight. I still haven't turned in my vote. I'm that perplexed over this. Kendrick Perkins, I don't blame anybody who picks any of these four. Embiid, Jokic, Giannis, and Booker. Obviously, Luka is up in there as well. But I think about Giannis, most dominant force in the game. When you look at Embiid, most talented, when you consider what he can do on both ends of the floor and how phenomenal he has been. Even though I do look at the blowout loss to Brooklyn, the loss on his home court to Brooklyn and Denver, that does count against him a little bit because you're in that MVP chase. And obviously, Jokic was there as well, even though he had good numbers that game, but Denver won that particular game in Philly. I look at Jokic and what he has done without Jamal Murray, what he has done without Michael Porter Jr., the numbers that he's put up, 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, 500 assists, just phenomenal. And I look at Devin Booker. It's a damn shame. 27-5-5. Best record in basketball. 47 games over 500. 12-3 without CP3. But I also look at the fact that knowing the race is tight, KP, you sat out the last couple of games. That matters when you're chasing that MVP and you know the race is that tight. I'm going to make my vote in the next few hours, but I got to admit, I go back and forth every 5 minutes on one or the other. That's how close it is for me.
Well, I ain't never known you to be scared. That's the first thing. Second of all, look, I got to vote. I got to vote as well, and I voted already. And let me help you. Let me persuade you over to the Joel Embiid side of the MVP candidate race, okay? This is why I voted for Joel Embiid. Forget the fact that he won the scoring title, the last center to do it with Shaquille O'Neal, who, by the way, won the MVP. Forget the fact that Ben Simmons quit on him at the beginning of the season, and he had to say, you know what, let's go to war in a tougher conference and make noise and still finish a top 5